Good afternoon, morning, and night to everyone listening to me right now. So, this will be a voiceover on our video for last week training in which we lost the audio. So, in the course of last week, we discussed the introduction to systematic review and meta analysis, and there we identify one of the steps, which is problem formulation when you're about to start systematic review and meta-analysis. And for us to be able to formulate problem, we need to make use of a framework called the PICO framework. Now, the PICO simply means population, intervention, comparison, and outcome. So what does this PICO talks about, or what did they identify? The P there means population, which simply means the entity that receives the intervention or the treatment that you're applying, that you're trying to see the effect. So it could be I'm trying to apply fertilizer on maize, so the maize there is the population. Or I'm trying to see the effect of paracetamol on 2-year-old child, so it is the 2-year-old child that are the population there. Then what are you trying to apply? That answer the question of intervention. So the intervention is what you are applying, and the comparison is true. Oh, this thing is not available, the control, or without the presence of this thing, or you could comparison to some other thing. So then the outcome is what you are looking out for. Could be to the yield of the maize, to the size of cassava, to the number of leaves. So the PICO help you identify questions like this in your research area, and also makes it narrower, so you could answer questions, like a lot of questions that are yet to be answered. Now, if you look into Mr. Prince gave us an example of research in this area. There is a current research in his feed, which is integrating climate smart agricultural technology into small scale farming. Now, looking at that specific topic, we see it is very, very wide. And so if we are to run a systematic review and meta-analysis on it, it will take us days, years to get an answer to it. So it is advisable that we make our questions to be very, very narrow. Now, in order to make this our question to be narrow, so we can get an answer to it, we decide to pick one of the climate smart agricultural technology, in which we used the drought resistance planting material, as you can see on the screen. So from now henceforth, I'll be calling it DRPM. So when you hear me say DRPM, it simply means drought resistance planting material. So we are trying to see the effect of drought resistance planting material on the income and the yield of small scale farmers. So we would have to utilize the PICO framework. So from the PICO framework, we identify the population as the small scale farmers, and the intervention as drought resistance planting material. I believe we all know that now. Then the comparison, as you can see, is same as without DRPM, and the outcome is what you're trying to measure with what we identify as the income of farmers and yield. Now, from the PICO framework, if you have been able to create your PICO framework, the next thing is to create your research question and your project title from the PICO framework. Now, how do I create my research question and project title from the PICO framework? Now, you should know that in systematic review and meta-analysis helps you to answer the question that you're looking for, and also tells you about the moderating effect. And what is a moderator? A moderator is that which affects or makes let me use it this way for easy understanding. So a moderator is that which is behind the scene that causes the effect or the appearance of a particular effect. Just like in plants, we have different rays of light, but the green is being reflected. That's what we see. That's what you can say a plant is green. Whereas all other rays of light were available. Whereas the green photon is what the plant utilize. So in your research, in as much as you're trying to answer, oh, how does drought resistant planting material affect the income of small scale farmers, there could be some moderating factors that affect for the income of the farmers to be identified easily. So those are the two. You can answer more than two questions, but basically the first question from what we have here, it says that what's the difference between, so you are generating these questions from your PICO framework. So the first one here is, what is the difference between the income and the yield of small scale farmers who adopt DRPM and those who do not? Why the other one is, what is the factor moderating the effect? So that's the moderator there of DRPM on the income and yield of small scale farmers. So if you are creating your own question, all what you just need is to just change this thing. Oh, what is the difference between this and this? So ensure that your question includes everything in the PICO framework. If you look deep into it, the first question, it has the small scale farmer there, it has the intervention, as the DRPM. It also tells us about the comparison and the outcome. Then the second question does added moderating factor. So why you create these two questions is, by the end of your research, your research should be able to tell you or give you answer to these questions. So after creating your research question, the next thing is writing your project title. You just need to give your project title. Then the next stage after creating your PICO framework, getting your research question, is going into your literature search. Now this is a very, very important and key area in systematic review and meta-analysis, which makes it different from traditional literature review. So you have to document everything that you do. Now you have to identify key literature database areas in your feed that you could utilize to get resources. That means in systematic review, we don't keep any papers aside. So every paper that talks about what you are looking for must be utilized, must be searched for. And you don't use only one database, you must be able to identify different databases. Like from what we have here, we could make use of Science Space, Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholars. So some of these databases are not free. So but in carrying out systematic review, you don't have to say, because this specific database is not free, I only make use of Google Scholar and that's all. Most journals will not accept it, because that is not the key aim of systematic review and meta-analysis. The aim of systematic review and meta-analysis is to be able to summarize every research regarding what you are trying to answer and give a pool estimate. So the pool estimate is the average that you can tell, okay, this is what is happening in this area. Now let me give a key example. It's when I decide to look into a particular kind of fertilizer, let's say NPK 15, 15, 15, and I have to pull every studies that deals with the effect of NPK 15, 15 probably on maize. So I will not just go to Google Scholar. There's some research paper that might not be available in Google Scholar alone. So I'll go to Web of Science, every possible database that I could get these materials from, these researches from, I'll go there. Put in the same prompt, which is our search that I'm going to talk about very soon, and get in every material so you report what you have seen. Alright, so you have to go through each and every database, then put in the same search string, then generate that search, generate every paper that is given to you. Please note that the same search string that you create here must be utilized in every of the database, and if you tend to change the search string, you have to report it. That's why systematic review is held with a very, very, it's being trusted out of all kind of researches, because in systematic review and meta-analysis, you tend to reduce bias. So just imagine I'm making use of Google Scholar alone. That simply means that I'm biased. I'm definitely biased. That means I have to make use of every search engine, every search database that is available, and not because it's available to me. I have to ensure, because that's systematic review. So afterwards, you need to, before you start going through each database, you must have created your search term, and I explained in the video how to create the search term. All you need to do is to, now you go back to your Pico framework, you identify the key terms that are in your research question, or better still your project title. And what we had here, we have small scale farmers, we have the drought resistance, we also have drought resistance here, then we also have the small scale farmers. Yeah, so small scale farmers and the drought resistance. So now if you look at it on the video, it might not be aligning well with the video currently because I'm doing a voiceover. So there are some search strategy that we make use of. So you need to get the synonyms to these particular key items. You have the drought resistance planting material. What you ask yourself, what are the possible research term that researchers in your feed make use of as regards, if they don't call drought resistance planting material, what else do they call it? Now we're able to identify that it is called climate resilient seed. So then what you need to do is utilize brackets and apostrophe. You see it in the video. So I will just put bracket apostrophe drought resistance planting material, close the bracket, add the closing apostrophe and use or. Now this or, it's a search term and it must be in an uppercase. So then I will utilize climate resilient seed, then I will close the brackets. Now if you observe, you see that those that meant the same are kept in the same bracket. The idea is you are telling this database that, okay, if you don't see drought resistance planting material, go for climate resilient seed because it's still the same thing. Then when you use the search word hand in the uppercase, it is telling the database that, okay, you shouldn't only look for materials that talk about drought resistance planting material, or you are also looking at those that are connected to small scale farmers, or another name for small scale farmers is rural farmers. So this is how you create your search term. So this search term is what you take to the different database that is available, like the one we identify here, Google Scholar, Web of Science, Scopus, and ResearchGate. So I also explain how to utilize this. So when we are done, all we need to do is just copy it to each of these database. And when you put them on the database, you are going to see the results that is being shown. You need to report the results that is being shown immediately. So for example, when I copied and pasted our search term into Google Scholar, we're able to identify 254 results. So you use a template. There's a template that is mentioned in the video that I'm going to share with the class. Now if you're on Google Scholar today, you write the date, then when you put in that search strategy, the number of results that you have to put it down there. So this is the same thing that you're going to do. It applies to every database that you impute this to in order to get materials. So in our next class, we'll be talking about, we'll move forward from the search engine to how we could get this research paper, how we can retrieve the research paper from the database to our laptop, and then next on how we could extract information from this data. But before then, an assignment has been given on the platform of Google Classroom. The video will be on the YouTube channel, so make sure you go back to watch the assignment, because these are the things that make it more easier for you when you are supposed to, when you